Welcome back.
Welcome back. 23.
Episode 23.
Kristian has rejoined us, along with Adrian.
His business partner in Benzina Stables.
Benzina Stables. So please introduce yourselves and tell us about your business.
Cool. So, Benzina Stables. So we're over in Preston. And
again, not affiliated with Benzina Magazine.
Different.
This is legit. That was a scam.
Wait a few weeks and you'll see the first episode of tonight. And you'll understand that.
Talk about Jack the Hat.
For about 40 minutes, but yeah. So, Benzina Stables. Well, basically, it's a high-end enthusiast motoring hub, pretty much. So
where horsepower sleeps. I fucking love it.
We have to credit where it came from. Where horsepower
Mate,
sleeps.
it's just
if we don't, we'll get in trouble.
You're welcome to.
Mrs. G, we'll leave it at that.
So your wife?
Yeah.
Well done.
So we had this session.
Well done.
I thought I came up with that.
Okay.
But anyway.
We're all going to claim it.
Well done.
And obviously Luke, the third.
Yes, the third partner. Yeah.
Earth, Wind and Fire. So Luke had the Benzina in terms of the cantina and motorcycle garage. So I think initially he was pretty keen not to be Benzina because he didn't want to be seen to be pushing the name, but it was such an obvious fit.
It's a great name.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's just like I said. I mean, you just jump in a beautiful Italian car and there's benzene on the fuel. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just synonymous with it. So he had the original idea with the name, was it?
So I've always wanted the stables. So I've had this idea in my head for 10 plus years, and the stables was something that, Ferrari, Porsche, all of this, it's just, it all makes sense, the supercars and everything like that. So I had the stables, and then funny enough, when I met Adrian, and I've known Luke for many, many years, and we sat down and we were talking about this through a mutual friend, and to come to the names, I said stables, they liked it, and then eventually we landed on Benzina Stables, and we all just loved it. So it all goes hand in hand. It explains it a bit better, and obviously the Italian heritage, jump in a Fiat now for Ferrari, it says Benzina on it. Even I love German cars and everything like that, and it's benzene. The Greeks, they make good donkeys. We love the Greeks. They don't make many cars that I know of anyway, but don't want to get in racist things here, but it's benzene.
Good olive oil.
It's the same.
Great olive oil.
Exactly. We had a lot of Greeks come in and say, benzene, petrol.
Yeah,
so it's people associate it. They'll say that. But
and just pure chance that they're the same amount of letters, so the logo works. Because both words.
Correct.
Yeah.
We definitely thought about that.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then we've got the shift or shift gate, depending. One thing is quite interesting. So this logo here, I made it for obviously the shift gate and all the rest of it. I want to integrate it into the thing, and so many different people. I showed it to my wife, and she goes, I love it. It's car spaces. And I went,
yeah, okay,
that works.
We'll go with that.
That works. Car spaces, and a few different people see it, and they always come back to us
different
and
interpretation.
Exactly right, but it's all got to do exactly. So and then funny enough, it's a symbol for king in Chinese.
Have we fact checked that? Have we fact checked that? Do we know that that's actually the case?
No, we googled it.
Okay, that's good.
Google's always right. King.
Oh, wow, that symbol.
Yeah, mind you, we haven't got any wealthy kings or coming yet, so I don't know if this goes to China, we would need some wealthy kings. But it goes hand in hand. So
that's cool.
That's how the name came about, really.
Wow. And Mr. G came up with the where horsepower sleeps.
Well,
because I think that's a great catchphrase, man. Honestly, it's just brilliant.
I'm not sure how our wives feel about it now, given we spend almost every waking minute there. But I think at the time, I can speak for my wife, she was just happy to have my car out of the alfresco area, which is where it lived for about a year. So she's like, yeah, sure, go get a little factory somewhere.
3,000 square metres later.
Yes, that's the thing. I mean, if you haven't been there, it's just, it's huge. I mean, it's just purposely built to store your car perfectly, safely, in a great environment. I mean, that's really what you've geared it up for, isn't it? And you've got a little retail section now too, so you're doing some retail cars too.
And anything enthusiast based. You won't see any Teslas or Corollas or unless
that's nice. GR.
Different story because they are quite cool.
They're cool.
So we're trying to create that sort of enthusiast hub, and events is something. So it all started off as a car storage business until we got into the factory and started working in there, and we started creating this culture, and all our members started coming, and it's Friday night drinks is just standard now.
Yeah, it's cool.
And all of a sudden, we sort of went, hang on, we've got something else. It's not a car storage business.
No, it's a membership business.
It's a membership business, yeah. So later in the year, we're doing a bigger fit out, and we're going to build our mezzanine with our member space and all the rest of it. So members will have, because this is one thing, I grew up in Williamstown, so the yacht club was the cool place to hang out.
Yeah.
And I love boats, but wouldn't really own one.
Yeah.
But had keys to the yacht club. You go in there, you get the view of the city, a dry bar, barbecue facilities, and it was just a hangout. And there's nothing like that in the car world. So
there's a joint in America that they constantly.
You said there's something.
They're
in San
ripper boys,
Francisco.
mate.
What are they called?
The
Car
The
collective.
Car Collective.
Car Collective, yeah.
Correct. They've been really, really kind with our social response back and forth, and we've been seeing them, and I'm like, quite a unique space.
That's a really cool space.
That's a great space, mate.
Awesome,
and I guess that's sort of similar to what you guys are sort of.
Yeah, and we looked at things like Haggerty
sense.
Drivers Club in the US. Their Dallas facility is just
Huge,
next level. I mean, I'm not sure how the economics work, but it's a
the
cool
dollars
space.
don't make sense of it.
No, West Coast Car Storage, Matt Farrar's place. That's pretty cool. On a small scale, but what was common is that there's spaces that. You know, what I'm excited by is that, you know, if someone's got a car to store, great. But even if they don't, if there's some way that they can remain connected and we can monetize that, then that's attractive.
Yeah, 100%.
So, you know, but not bastardizing it either. We don't want to be everything. You can't be everything and be good at all. So you still need to keep it pretty tight.
But I mean, how long have you guys been operating now? Technically about 6 months?
6, 7 months?
6, 7 months, yeah.
And it's like anything, I suppose. It just will come to you naturally, and then you just work out what works and what doesn't work with your brand.
Exactly.
And that's what we're all sort of blessed. We were talking about this other day. I mean, we haven't even been here 2 years yet, and we just feel very humble at the growth and as you know, when we're fucking anything, we're trying to fucking pull the reins back on shit because there's so much coming to us, which is great because people want to get associated with the brand or something or other, which what you're finding and what you're happening. And I guess then you find out, like you said, you don't, hang on, we're taking too much on now and we're starting to lose. Well, that's what I found. I'm taking, let's pull it back.
Yeah.
What's my DNA? What's my core DNA? And stick with that. And like I said, we do storage here, which people know, but it's not actually per se for the pub. It's more for half our clients. I mean, it's bloody half the stuff is all clients' cars. Like, surely I need something for a week or two or whatever the case may be. I've got to make, can you help them out for a month or so? So it's like, it's more of the added value.
Yeah,
our core business
value,
is, our core business is a car retailer, bespoke, collectible cars. The added value is the truck service. The added value is the sim business. The added value is the car storage. But it's not in itself on its own. They're just complementary to what we have here. Hence, you buy the car, surely I haven't got space, can I leave it here? Yeah, mate, fucking leave it here. Perfect.
Every part of the business helps and feeds the other.
Yeah. And then we've had other things.
Ecosystem within
your
own brand.
And we've had other stuff that have come to us, and I'm like, nah, that's probably chewing on. One, we don't have the inventory in terms of staff-wise. We don't have the manpower. And I'm like, nah, that's not really our core DNA. It's good, but it's not really our. We're starting to divert off. No. Stick to this, stick to that. We pushed a few things away, and I've sort of second-guessed it. I went, no, my heart, I've always stuck with my heart. My gut tells me, and I'll go, yeah, stick with that. And I think that's what you say. Like, you guys have got such a beautiful space there, because there's no one doing anything on that side of town, is there?
No, I mean, look, you know, what's been interesting is where cars are coming from. Where have they been stored before they get to us, you know, and whether they're being stored in, you know, the owner's own workspace, their own factory that they've got, you know, machinery and all sorts of things around them.
Which
or
a lot of them
stored
do.
in mum's garage or a friend's garage, or, you know, they're all over the place. So, you know, it makes it a little bit challenging that we get inquiries and they can go on for months before they go, okay, let's pull the trigger. But
main thing is you get an inquiry. And then we go from there, you know what I mean? And that's the big thing, because really...
and we can feed people's addictions. I mean, that's the fun part, you know. It's like, I remember there was one guy that popped past one day, unannounced, and anyway, you'd never guess it, but he has a reasonable collection of cars. And
all sitting in shipping containers.
Talk
about the same guy.
All sitting in shipping containers. Anyway, which is a bit bizarre in itself. But anyway, he was like, "Yep, that sounds all great." And on the way out, he turned around, walked back, and he goes, "Oh, look, by the way."
Can you do the accent, please?
No, I'm not going to do that.
You're giving it away. You're going to give it away.
He goes, "By the way, if you ever come past my shop, he's got a bakery. Don't tell my wife."
Okay.
Don't tell my wife. My wife doesn't know about these cars.
Doesn't know anything about them. And I was like, okay, well...
Do you know how many clients are like that?
Yeah.
We had we had a... Be
careful what you say.
Fred, let's talk about Fred.
Yeah. And he had a fetish for serious, and I mean serious race cars. X, you know, Sunoco, Donahue, like
cool
serious
stuff.
Serious stuff. I don't know if I can say what his profession was, but he made shitloads of money and he was in a certain profession, and his missus used to think that he rented everything off us.
YTG Rentals.
Brother, he had over $10 million in cars, and I'm not talking a lot of cars either. I'm talking serious Le Mans, 90, I won't say what, anyway, certain serious cars. And, we'd take them out the track, Philpine, whatever they said, that's all sort of, and every time we walk in, we'd say, hey, go on, mate, I won't say, and she'd go, mate, these guys really love you, and just rent everything off them. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, they're just good blokes, but we just generally love, but we played the game. He goes, you guys cannot ever fucking say anything. And we go, no, man, no, that's cool. He used to rock up, no shit, in a first-gen C63, and that's all he drove. Just a normal first-gen C63, like a 2010. He bought it new. And the missus, I won't say what it is because she'll know. And anyway, she always had a late model
Even
SUV.
with the stretched head studs.
And he just come in. So, like you said, there's amazing how many guys. Don't tell. My fucking knows nothing. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. There was another one of them on the rally, the Sydney rally. There was someone
around. Yeah,
he has 13 cars, and the wife knows about two of them.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I don't feel so bad.
And he has them so bad. He has them dotted around. So he's hiring parking spaces off uni kids that are at uni apartments, and they don't need parking spaces.
Beautiful.
So there's two in a uni building here. There's one
That's
there.
great.
Just insane.
It is funny, isn't it?
I love it.
It's actually more
About
common
this
than
time,
not,
we,
mate.
We say, look, Camilla, there's no other cars, I can tell you now. Right? Guys, just keep it down, please. Shut the fuck up.
Well, funny, my wife gave me a rule of I can buy another car as long as I sell a car. So I thought, that's a fair enough deal.
Why didn't they going into business with you mean that we would have all these BMWs coming in? The place looked half full just because of you.
Yeah. What would we call it? The all slick corner or something? Leak oil, typical BMW. But the day I proposed to her, so I raced. I'll tell you the whole story actually. Yeah. So I went to a BMW meet at Albert Park. Oh, God. And so I said to my missus, we're just going to a Cars and Coffee and this. I said, just dress up a little bit. Yeah, it's all BMW wankers and, dress. It's a classy event. So she's like, okay, cool. So I went, did the event and had my dad's supercharged E90. So as we're getting onto the freeway, I had this RS3 up my ass. And she's going, come. And so I ran him twice, demolished him. He freaked out. He's never been.
Your BMW shoes.
I would have had. I changed.
If a special guy that wears branded shoes,
I had BMW shoes when I came in. I changed them. Pull up to the workshop. I did the proposal and all nice, thanks to the race car and everything like that. Had to make all part of it. And then about 10 minutes after I proposed, and I pointed outside, and I love my E30s. There's an E30 sitting there. She goes, "Okay, do you like that?" She goes, "Oh, yeah." Like that, and I'm like, I just bought it.
Got married first, got proposed first.
So I got another car in. So I'm still got the same rule, but I got it up one level. So I got one extra car.
Yeah, now that you're married, that smile's not going to get you out of the same.
She's going to watch this episode. And it's going to be all over. It's going to be all over.
This goes straight to DVD, I think.
That's funny.
Oh God.
So. Your background, obviously, being Liquid Moly, and your background, Adrian, is in finance, correct? You're an accountant?
Financial planner by trade.
But just always had a love for cars, I guess? Or
and at the moment, I run an advice business. Industry super funds are our clients. So. And I actually, despite the boys giving me a little shit about it, I do actually enjoy my day job, which is kind of bizarre that I actually have.
You got to hear the conferences. Sometimes he'll do it. He's got a laptop open. He's on the conference, and there's Luke and I flashing things at him and all sorts of things. And he's keeping a straight face, but he sits there for like an hour talking.
This is our CEO does listen to this podcast, so he gets confirmed that when I am working,
you are working.
You are working.
Giving nothing, but he's a bit distracting though to see the hairy ass cheek through the office window.
Mate, concentrating, mate. Dedication.
Either that or we're rev bombing at Desmo in the office.
Oh my God. yeah. But I during the pandemic, Luke and I and a couple of other dads, because that's how Luke and I met. Our kids go to the same school.
Okay, yeah.
And I didn't know Luke. I just knew Luke was Freddie's dad, right? So And it must infuriate him because I never took any interest in his stunt riding days and what have you. If he didn't come to a working bee, he was just, giving shit about it. It's like, well, I don't give a shit about stunt riding. He didn't come to a working bee.
Yeah, I know, we're all...
But as you do, back in those dark days, going for walks in the middle of the night, and we're kind of just talking about what will we do when we get out of this? We've got to come out firing, right? And Luke, I think, had just sold his Cantina. He just sold it, so he was trying to work out what he was going to do next. And I had bought an older HSV that I was fixing up, and I said the wife was giving me a bit of grief about where I was keeping that in our alfresco area. So it was like, the car storage thing came, like the idea was already there. Luke had already thought about it beforehand, and I was like, yeah, that sounds like something I can get behind. And then we were introduced, Luke and Kristian knew each other. I was introduced to Kristian, and one look at that smile. I was like, wow. If we ever get ourselves into trouble, we just send the assassin in. So it's a pretty crazy thing. Like, I'm a really measured guy. This is a little bit out of character to do something like this. So, to have two pretty awesome dudes to go on this journey with is pretty special.
Yeah, good.
And we haven't killed each other yet. And I don't know, Kristian's the glue that keeps us together because Luke and I are proper alpha male. We have different ways of going about it. But, without Kristian, it probably wouldn't work, to be honest.
Exactly. But you all obviously add value to the different sector of what you're trying to do, though.
We all come with completely different strengths. Like Adrian's our dot the I's and cross the T's guys. I have to use a thesaurus to read some of his fucking emails sometimes. He's the guy that
understand the word. It makes a difference.
Well, he brings that corporate thing into the automotive world, which it lacks. And sometimes I got to pull him up and say, hey, it's automotive. Like, let's just simplify it a little bit, And Luke's an absolute legend. He's a dreamer. He's the big vision guy. He's always 10-10. He's always on the limit. He's just go. Yeah. And I sort of fit in between, and sometimes the yin and the yang, and I'm sort of just pulling both. And that's good. They call me smiling assassin because sometimes I sit there and don't say anything. But the mind's clicking over and all the rest of it. And once they quieten down,
but that's what you want, though. I'd imagine there's three partners. You want. Bring differences to the table, because if he just replicates what's the fucking point? You don't need
exactly.
it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's the king. That's the key, I guess. If you can all add your different strengths to help the core business go to that limit, and you can all take care of that area, well, that's what you want, and you work collectively as together, all have the same vision. I mean, that's power to you. That's key, and you can all add different elements that. That's the key.
Exactly. Because partnerships are hard, as we all know. And
and most fail, right? So I mean, going into that knowing that you're up against it, most new businesses fail as well. And a lot of it's because you don't have the talent, maybe, or you don't have the patience. And the hardest thing for any new business is, you need to grow, you need to be on your feet, but you also need to have enough substance there. So we need to be able to provide a service that we can stand behind whilst growing. So you're building the place as as you're moving. So that tends to be a bit more of my focus, is to make sure that the substance are there, the proof points are there. But I think in time we can see, if the retail side, requires someone to be really owning that, storage, and Kristian's background, being in the motorsport and understanding more of the technical side of things,
that's a perfect side.
That's really important too, because it means we actually can talk with confidence about the product. Because my interest in cars extends to what I've experienced. I don't actually know how they work properly to the extent that I would.
You don't need to,
yeah. And I guess that's what you said. I mean, listen, he'll pick up the baton where he needs to. You pick up the baton where you need to, and same with Lukey, and that's the key. And as long as that continues, I guess, and like you said, partnerships are fucking hard. Fuck, you know what I mean? And it's just, I guess with us, it's not even us. Just everyone who's here adds value and really can do stuff that the other person can't do, and it's just that helps the machine go along. And if you're a small crew like we are, and the bonus, I guess, with you guys is you haven't bought a business or taken over from someone else's business. It's a blank canvas, and you can do it the way you want to do it, and you can see it. I guess the opportunities there, and you can focus on those sort of areas. And then same as when we open this. I mean, okay, we've got enough runs on the board. We want to do something different. Find what we felt there was a niche in the market for my clients Not for everyone. Like I said, that's why I'm not open to the public. 14 people I don't need to serve. I only need the 1 out of 15.
Yeah.
And that's who comes in here. I don't need the 14 in here. I can go to Paul fucking everywhere else. So it's like, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's my market, that's my core. I'm not changing. It's work and it does. But it was also a blank canvas. I had my ideas I want to do, and that's what you guys are. So you're constantly evolving.
A long time.
Sorry, brother?
You've been around the block a few times.
Fuck, brother. I've been around the block fucking so many times. And you know, one of the people said, why, even again, a client today came in, it was a beautiful client. He goes, fuck, it was fucking overdue. Yeah, people say that, but maybe it just wasn't the right timing, you know what I mean? Like, I was very blessed to be a part of Duttons, and, if things hadn't changed the way they are, I probably would have been still there, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm blessed that I was a part of it, very grateful, but because of what happened, I guess, and now I'm here. So maybe, deep down, I always, you always wanted to do your own thing, maybe, you know what I mean?
Of course.
But I wanted to do it differently and something that's unique, and that's what you guys are doing. I mean, there's really no one else. I mean, who's the only other stories? Big Joint, as opposed to Mob down here. That's it, isn't it?
There's quite a few players in the space, and there's quite a few smaller ones sort of popping up. When we did
but
our
your
numbers,
scale, I mean, you guys are pretty decent size, man.
Yeah,
I mean, okay, granted, you're going to get it fuller and fuller as you go, but I mean, it's a pretty
all
big
the other
fucking
business.
space.
I've got other businesses on the side, and I've been working for myself since 19, plus a few jobs in between. But when we did the numbers on a small place, it just didn't work. Yeah. It just didn't work. Yeah. So we sort of went, let's just go.
And particularly with 3 of us involved, right? Like, it needed to be at a certain scale to make sense to feed 3 families, and
Of course, mate.
Bite off more than you can chew and chew like hell, as Brocky would say.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, and that's why as you said, once we got going, it was like, okay, storage is good, and the model's proven. We're getting cars, we're getting some motorbikes.
Correct.
But is it really a storage business, or is it something else? And
it's like a lifestyle.
Whilst there's still a lot of
nail on the head.
Money and development to come in terms of how the space builds out over time. I mean, we've had number plates sold just because people chance meeting in the space, watches, so, and it's like, that's pretty cool, right? Like,
Friday night drinks, things are just getting sold, and going, hey, where's that commission? We're facilitating.
But that's the thing. It's and that's naturally happening.
Just bringing that network together and different clients, because we've all got the same passion. We all love cars or motorbikes or motorsport or something like that. Yeah. So, and it's putting those group of guys in, and we only deal with the good guys. Man,
we don't want shit people around. There's enough out there, man. We just want good neighbour, because generally you got the good clients that don't want shitheads around them either. They just want good clients. It's not a question of money. Yeah. It's a question of, they just got a good ethos with you. You know what I mean? And it's just, and that's what I've found. And I mean, that's one of the things that when I opened up, I said, man, we're dandy boys, mate. So we're fucking feet on the ground, mate. Yeah. There's fucking 8-9 fucking billionaires in those phones and 2 royal families. So nothing fucking impresses me unless you're a good person. And that's what, for us, we were very key. Like the first couple of Cars and Coffee, we fucked people off. We were fucking people off. They were fucking dickheads turning up and thinking they're hot shit. Wrong joint, mate. Fuck off.
Yeah. Well, because people would come here and see, look at the space, it's awesome, look at the stock. But
when they realise that, hang on, there's no pompousness, actually, mate, they're actually really down to earth, and there's nothing, like if you turn up at an SVJ, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. Yeah. If you turn up at an XD, I'm not impressed. In terms of, I appreciate the cars, I love cars. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say it that way. I'm not more impressed about an SVJ than I am with the XD Falcon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I actually can relate more to that XD Falcon than the SVJ.
Correct.
And the guy that owns that XD Falcon is passionate as fuck and has restored that car because that's what he has and he loves, just as much as the guy that has plenty of money and has the SVJ. Nothing wrong with him. But so for us, that's why we've always pushed now. And now the last Cars and Coffee, they have got to realise that it is about diversity. That means people, cars, everyone's welcome, not your shit attitude.
Yeah,
100%. And that's what we've got here. And that's what we've now... core, that's how we've developed it, that's how this space has become, and that's just now, like I said, it's just constantly evolving. That didn't work, like I said, the Benzina thing, I put my effort into the jacket thing, and that just turned into be a fucking ball ache because he's a fuckhead. But in saying that, it's just a matter of I couldn't give a fuck.
No filter.
No. I fucking speak the truth.
We're still playing Switzerland, aren't we? We're trying to be nice.
We're always Switzerland. We're in the next Blue magazine.
No, you guys, this is me. I'm fucking saying it. We fucking knows. So in saying that, I mean, it's like, again, we're trying our best. We went in with the good heart, the good ilk of trying to do this, trying that. It's like anything. When we opened Duttons, we opened it from fucking scratch. Tried this, didn't work. Tried that, didn't work. That's now bang, we go. Good ideas, and that's what I'm saying. We wanted to point a difference, and for me, YTG was always going to be a point of difference. It's not for everyone. That's cool. I'm not trying to tell you for everyone. I can't make everyone happy.
Yeah.
But the ones I can, I will.
Exactly.
I think the coolest part, because I mean, this is my first kind of gig. I've had a job my whole working life, right?
Yeah.
So there's a smaller number of people, including yourself, who from the start were really supportive. Our first 10 clients, we'll remember them forever because it was a leap of faith for them to make, and that's the special thing, that people won't see that, at some point. I'm hoping it's a successful business, and people go, oh wow, look at this, but they won't know about. They said those first 10 clients when we were still really nervous about, is this a thing? Is it going to be a proven model? Is the dream going to be realised? And the people who supported us and those first few clients, that's what gives you the confidence to roll on. Because
they see it, they believe in it, and they go, we like this.
And they really bought in on the story of what it's going to be. Because, I mean, at the start, it's literally an empty warehouse, right?
Yeah, daunting.
and there's no way of dressing that up. But that's what it is, and you talk a lot about what's coming, and, that's why continually building new things into the space, into the offer is important, because you don't want that to be an empty promise.
No.
So if you're going to say you're going to do something, you've really got to get there.
You got to do it. You got to do it, 100%.
And we meet some really, really nice people through the space. There's some that we've had conversations that sort of say, hey, you're not the perfect fit for us. So please,
that's
please
life.
leave.
That's the way it is.
GDR, but
100%.
And you hit the nail on the head before. It's the diversity and the passion for cars and the similar interests are irrelevant if it's an XD Falcon or an SVJ.
Man.
We love that exactly the same. And we've got one car in there.
One of our first cars was an XF.
XF Falcon, and like the beautiful story. The beautiful clients, like with the story with that sort of car, and that's parked next to a JD2 RS.
Yeah.
But he sort of comes, the guy with the XF comes, it was his late father's car, it's sentimental to him.
Yeah, man.
And the story's like really, really nice. He loves that car.
Man.
He will never sell that car.
Yeah, man.
And he comes once every 6 to 8 weeks, takes the covers off it, he wipes down the dash and looks at it, spends some time, and that's his way of, talking to his dad.
No interest in driving it.
Yeah, man. See, I love that. That's great.
That's cool. Irrelevant if it's worth 700 grand or if it's worth
man.
10, 15 grand. Like it's if you love your car, and we'll look after it the exact same way as that SVJ or whatever it is.
It is.
JD2 RS.
That's how it should be. I mean, we did the same. We did a delivery on a gentleman who bought, it was 40 grand. You know what I mean? Fuck, man, 40 grand. There used to be a fucking lot of money back in the fucking day. You know what I mean? Now it's fucking nothing, mate. You know what I mean? But in saying that, when the guy fucking turned up and he saw what we had here, and he saw the service and what we did and how much we went over it was a 40 grand car.
Yeah.
The average car is fucking 400,000.
Yeah.
And he was just like, what's the catch? I mean, like, what do you mean? And he goes, your enthusiasm, your passion is just like, I bought the fucking XJ220. I go, mate, I can fucking relate to this more than I can the fucking XJ220, mate.
Correct.
And I'm blessed and grateful that you chose us. You know what I mean? You looked at other cars, you know what I mean? You didn't know who we were. You didn't know this place. You fucking bought it over the phone. And then so for me, it was just, man, he had a story behind why he wanted that car. His uncle had one, and, he missed a couple of opportunities, and we had the car, and I was like, yeah, man, I feel grateful.
Makes you warm and fuzzy inside when you make that sale.
Man, it is. It's like, you know what I mean? And that's cool, man. And that's what it was. And he was just blown away that we genuinely gave a fuck. We actually genuinely cared. And it was. And we were really grateful, you know what I mean? Because he'll buy that car today. He had a beautiful experience with us. We genuinely loved the car. We genuinely cared for the bloke. We gave him everything. We helped him out in state and that sort of stuff. And in a couple of years, he comes back and he goes again and he gets upgraded. And it's nurture. It's the long game. You know
exactly.
What I mean? And that's what it's always
car
about.
Today, and that's one time. It's what a lot of people miss in the car sales industry.
And that's what you're building. You're building a foundation of something that's unique, that's going to be a standout in your space.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And you're just adding those extra values, and you have the good network of the right people around you. And there's a lot of shit pricks in our industry, mate.
Well,
Fuck,
I mean,
mate.
you can. I mean, there's a lot of people that can sell a car, but you can't easily build a client base. You know? And if you're going to sell a car twice or 3 times to somebody, you can't fuck them, right?
You can't, mate. And when you're blessed to have their kids, like now I've been blessed. Fuck, shows my age. I mean, I've had clients almost 20 years, some clients, and now I've got their kids. I'm helping them. And Sean, can you help? Sally needs a new Corolla. Yeah, I'll get one. I mean, mate, who's got a Toyota Corolla deal, mate. I need to fucking help out. Kristian needs one for his daughter. I don't want fucking nothing out of it. Just fucking look after him, mate. Because my client, I want to look after him. You know what I mean? And they're the things. And they know that you can facilitate what they what they need. I'm your car guy. I'm your car guy. Or, you know what I mean? That's the thing. And when they had that trust, and that's hard, man. And you want to build that.
And it takes a long time.
Yeah, man, it does. You know what I mean? You click with some people better than others and so on, and then you've got to build a bit of reputation because they've been so burnt out there. And that's what some people, when they come in, they're like, what's the catch? Okay, man, there's no fucking catch, mate. I said I've been doing this so fucking long.
And you're judged on the deals you don't do, and the decisions the things you decide not to do.
Yeah.
It's funny. I had someone I used to work with, and a little while ago, he was like, I'd love to get a weekend car. He goes, I've been thinking like maybe V12 Jag, and I was like, oh. All right, mate. Well, and he's not inclined to get on the spanners. He knows nothing about how cars work.
Yeah.
And I go, this is like this is a marriage. Like, you're going to be committed to this thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's not going to make sense on, money wise, and you probably not. 1 out of 5 drives just won't happen.
Yeah. If you're prepared for that, then get into this relationship.
It's the time we had a 6.6 Daimler in stock, so that's what got him to call me. And I was like, I don't know, this is the car for you, like, because you'll hate it. You will hate it. There are other cars that will be better suited, and that's the sort of thing.
But brother, he would have respected you for saying that.
Well, he's assuming of course, man, buy it. It's fucking killer. Look at it. It's got shag pole bloody floor mats.
I love that
car
cool. Until you open the bonnet. And
we were going to use that as
underneath
an office.
Scary.
Yeah.
The car was immaculate, and it drove so nice. I contemplated buying it. Sorry, Casey.
When they're going beautiful.
It was leaking coolant the first day it got delivered, though.
That's pretty standard.
It had been sitting.
And that's the thing when they're sitting there, and it's amazing, when you take them out and all of a sudden now it starts dripping and leaking because all of a sudden everything starts getting used.
Exactly. And that's another thing, the beauty about the car storage. It's not just a glorified car park. It's, we start the cars every 6 to 8 weeks or however.
Because that's the thing, you guys have got a couple of services, so whereas us is just basic. Like I said, we're not really car storage. We're just purely for our clients, a bit of help. Mate, I need something for a month or so. You guys are properly geared up to do it. So
we do have the clients that will say, hey, disconnect the battery, and I don't care if the car sits for 10 years, don't start it, and all the rest of it, which is fine. That's their car. Otherwise, every 8 weeks the cars get started, brought to temp, we roll them forward. Gives a good opportunity to clean the floors.
Sure.
So then, and they're not sitting on the same bit of tyres or all the rest of it.
Charges and that sort of
Trickle
stuff.
Charges or running. But the cars get the temp, all the oils, everything's getting lubricated, everything's moving, puts back, car gets cooled down completely, then the car covers go back on. So it sort of keeps them alive, because we all know there's a car that sits was perfectly driving there, and then you try to drive it 12 months later, the fuel pump's gone, or it's got a leak, or it's got this, and it's never ending story.
And are you finding that the cars that you're getting at the moment are more old or a bit of modern, or it's just a bit of a mixture?
All over the place.
All over the place, yeah. We're getting some cars that are just like complete dailies.
Yeah.
Like why is this in storage?
Yeah.
Like it should be sitting on the street.
Yeah.
And then obviously the classics and some of the higher end
holiday, like short-term stuff's probably taken us a bit by surprise as well.
How many people are doing it?
They're going to Europe for 2 months, need the car
They don't
stored.
want their car left at home, even if they've got garage space.
I've got 3 cars
Really?
there from the other day. Look, Lukey's gone. I've sold them all 3 cars, and just a beautiful client, beautiful place, that sort of stuff. He goes, brother, do you mind if I leave them? Yeah, man. Like, I didn't charge him because he's just a brother. He's bought that many cars off me, and it's only for 2 weeks, but all 3 cars are there because just that peace of mind, it's just safe. And that's, I'm actually quite surprised. I've had a fucking car here for 4 days. I goes, mate, I just need to park somewhere for 4 days. Can I? Yeah, man, no stress. I know you do minimum week. I just pay you for the week. Yeah, okay, cool. You know what I mean? So it's quite amazing how many people are doing that. And if you have easy access with no complication, then it's nice and easy.
Spot on. When you think about we're in the car storage business, it doesn't necessarily need to be that we're storing the cars on site too. So we start to think about, can we help them with anything that's involved in keeping a enthusiast car running. So whether it's we help them, find the right stacker solution for home, or the right detailing services and products and what have you. There's, it opens up the market much bigger than just what can we fit in our 3,000 square metre space. But the short-term stuff, people building, moving house. Whilst we've got the space, that's been.
And are you going to put stackers in? Like, you got stackers at the moment? No,
we're trying. We're very close to bringing our first. So we're going to bring in, So we're going to do 12 stackers across the back wall.
Yeah, nice. So just double, 3 high.
3
you got
high.
the height.
We want the wow factor. You come in and just go wow.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, so we're going to do a bit of undulation. So 3, and then in front of that is going to be the 2.
Yeah.
So it's like as the business scales and as we're growing and we're actually understanding what we have.
Yeah, and how you utilise your floor plan, I guess. You can have it in sections in a sense, which is quite nice.
The first floor plan, the storage was huge.
Yeah.
It's half the size.
Yeah, mate.
Because there's other sections of the business that have come through. Yeah. So, like, the vision's completely changed to where it was. Yeah,
but that's it. But that's good, though, because you're evolving. And, you know, again, we were looking at the business plan of here, like 3 years, like 3 years ago when I was dying it.
2 years here now?
I haven't even been here 2 years. 2 years in end of August. But, you know, obviously when I left Duttons and all the shit that went on and all that crap, and then I had to go park myself at Lunatics, and then I'm just sitting there going, all right, well, I've got my business plan, so I'm
There's not
working
many bridges left intact, is there?
Really?
Brother, I
of
fucking built half those fucking bridges, mate. So if I'm going to blow them up, I'm fucking blowing them up.
See, so, you know, I'm so indoctrinated in corporate life. You know,
that's why I left.
You're building another bridge on the way out.
You never realised how much politics and
but that's why I had to get out of the carnage, mate, because I couldn't do court. I can't, mate. I'll end up in jail. I'll fucking slap some idiot because he's useless, and you can't do that because of OH&S, and you got to give him a fucking warning.
No, we celebrate underperformance, you know, as a learning opportunity. It's like, well, you're shit now, but you know that means you could be better. We celebrate underperformance in corporate world. It's incredible what people are allowed.
Oh, well, I suppose at school, and the kids get an award for coming last, I suppose, isn't it, these days? I mean, like, it's just wrong. I mean, I come from the old school world, you know what I mean? Like, I was taught the old school way. So, I was the new generation, but I learnt the old school way, which is the right way. And in terms of, you know, the way things are, and you see it now, the way the industry's moving. And that's why, for me, like I said, yeah, okay, people said, oh, it's fucking only a question of time. You have to do it, No, it wasn't the right timing. But now I saw it and I look at the way the industry's going, and I don't want to be a part of that industry anymore. The agency, and I can't do this. I've got to report to a board, and, you know, they want you to do it your way because you know your way works, but then my way doesn't maybe comply with the way things are these days.
Well, the whole dealer model's under threat now.
Brother, it's so changed.
Direct-to-consumer sale model is, that'll be the way it's done.
It is.
100%.
And so for me, my space is safe because it's a unique space that caters for a unique part of the market that's always going to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, I went, nah, and I was blessed. I had some big fucking offers to go to some joints, and I was like, I'm done. Because if I didn't open up my own joint, I would have just done something else. I would have just got out of the industry and just done something with one of my clients or whatever the case. But I love cars, and that's why I went, nah, there's a space that needs to be filled. I think I can fill it with my way. And yeah, it's sort of working, and so we'll see how we go.
We walk in, we sort of look at our space and go, oh, look, I see photos from 6 months ago, 7 months ago, and talk about how far we're coming. And I walk in here and I go, we've got a lot further to go.
Where are you going, brother, mate? You guys are on your own journey and your own track, and you're going to fucking achieve amazing things. You're going to do some fucking cool shit because already you've got this fucking space and the ideas of what you're doing. And again, you've got 3 different minds that are looking at 3 different things. You can all add value, and you know what I mean? And that's, I suppose you just want to create your own niche.
Correct.
That people just know it's you guys. And that's what we've been blessed to, that's where I think we are now. And now I think on a global scale, we've been very blessed now with Classic Driver and Top Gear magazine and those sort of things. And that's been really, really good. And that gives you a little bit of validation. Okay, yeah, we're on track and it's working this way. And fuck, I couldn't do this where I was before because it was just too much bullshit and you couldn't get an answer. And now, bang, we make the decision on the spot. And we've been pretty blessed. We haven't had any kickback on anything, really. Like, it's all been pretty much on track. I mean, we have. I mean, okay, some things probably didn't work as well as others, but that's just all fucking trying different business,
stuff. You know what I mean? That's life.
Yeah.
At least you got the freedom to try that stuff.
Mate, yeah,
whether it was the wrong thing, the wrong time, wrong anything. Sometimes
exactly.
We're learning, we've had to learn the, crude lessons that you do. I mean, time's such a precious commodity, and, you can waste lots of time on ideas, on people, and
who you get into bed with. And,
that's true. Yeah. It is fuck, mate.
It is a very connected industry, like many are, but, a
lot of politics in our industry, and that's a sad thing, and you guys will be seeing that. There's a lot of politics with car clubs. Yeah, heaps of politics at car clubs, and that's why I've always been. I've been neutral. I've never.
There's a few car club events that I've sort of pushed Adrian to go to because it was just like he comes back and tells me the stories like that's why I didn't want to go.
Superman can handle that one.
That's the thing. But again, you can see that
he's a chameleon. He'll adapt. He's good.
But look, I mean, and this is, again, you just see it. I've noticed it, especially after COVID. It's been elevated with all this extra stuff. Everyone's wanting to do this, and like I said, I mean, there's only a few places which are still core that can justify actually having a proper cars and coffee.
Yeah.
You guys are one of them. We're one of them.
Yeah.
Not fucking cafes and fucking bathrooms and fucking those sort of joints and that sort of stuff. That doesn't make sense. That's just the collecting guys.
No, well, look, you can do them one-off and create a bit of chaos and probably get away with it. Like, you've got a pretty awesome space here too. If you're going to do it as something regular, you've got to want to do it. Like, you can tell when people are done with it. The passion's out, and it's literally okay. There's a coffee van, and that's it. Like, you still have to create a vibe, otherwise people won't come back. And
correct.
We've been really clear not to just lock something in that it's always this day on this month because
which is what's happening with a lot of them, man. And we're not that. And that's when we hadn't had. It was a year. It was virtually a year and a week since our last one, and we were so humbled. Fucking 750, 800 people the last one. It was out of control. Then this last one, I was on the podcast. We haven't had one for a year. And we look, and again, because we had deviated because we were trying some other different things with the rallies and all that stuff with Jack the Hack and all that shit. So we went, and he didn't want to do them anymore. And I wanted to do them because I go, mate, that's our core. And that's why we stopped doing a lot of that stuff. And I went, nah, man. And people ringing us up going, mate, they'll go. And we did it right and we knew and people were wanting it. So then, we were blessed. After 1 year, man, there was fucking 600 people here, man. That was, and we felt very humble. Then we went, okay, when's the next one? Next one? No. In 3 months' time, whatever. We're doing only a couple of years. That's it. That's it.
We much prefer to have an opportunity to come up to do something with a particular brand. Like we had the Unique Cars magazine do something with us.
Awesome.
And that was cool. I've got hundreds of those magazines.
So you guys doing
Unique
Cars now? You advertising in it?
So the last one we did, yes, we're doing a little bit of work.
Because I've just started because they have been chasing me for the past year and a half. They said, mate, we want you and they want you in there. And then the pricing and all that, I was like, nah. And again, I was doing stuff with other people and I went, nah. And then because now we've now cancelled everything, we're fucking fully in charge of what we're doing. Yeah. We're very selective in what we're going to do. And I went, nah, I'm not doing any advertising with anyone. And then Unique just kept hassling. I went, fucking we're joining them and we're doing it. So this new magazine, so the new edition, Unique Cars, we're in it.
Yeah.
Page 13, up the front. In front of other dealers. So yeah, no, we're going to be there. So we're grateful. We're the first time we're going to be in it, and looking forward to it. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a good response for it. But I think it's going to be good. So you guys are going to be in it now. You're going to advertise?
So we were in the last issue.
Awesome.
We had a small feature in the issue before that,
like an actual article.
Correct. So the last Cars and Coffees was with Unique Cars.
Yeah, awesome.
So we had Phil Walker come out, Guy Allen, of course, and a few of the other.
Yeah, Phil.
Phil, he's been around long time.
Mate, he's awesome.
I took him for. I don't take many people out the back to show him, but obviously Phil, he's an absolute legend. He likes his ice cream with more on top, and he's a fucking legend. So I took him for a tour, and straight away he's like, "Oh, that's so and so car. That's so and so's car. That's But they've got the covers still on them. Yeah, he just knows. Like, he's amazing, and they're old school guys, and it's a magazine that's like. I'd always buy that. Every single. I had the subscription, and then now for me, if I'm going on
the ones that got away, that's the bit that always.
Look at that.
People love talking about. I could have bought a freaking HO, for 30 grand, and
isn't that great? The stories of that. It's good.
And then it's the ones that have moved. They haven't moved at all. It's like you paid what for a Morris Marina?
It's worth what now?
Yeah, but it's a good investment.
Fiat 128, 1994. It's like $6 grand. 2023, it's 7.5. And then you get the XYs and all the rest of it, and you look in those magazines. Dad's got a few in the. He's got a mechanical workshop and a few in the old toilet, and they're from the early 2000s. And
but see, they have a long hang life, mate. They hang around. Like I've gone through. Again, like when the process of moving the house, we just finished building. Fuck, what an exercise that was. And like it was like.
People still do it though. Like they know what they're getting themselves into.
What's that building?
Yeah,
brother.
Yeah, you knew going into this that it was going to be tough,
mate. I am fucking bulletproof, mate. Open up this business in fucking COVID, trying to build a fucking house in Monash Council, which are fucking assholes, and then just fucking 2 years.
Bridge, it's just got bang.
Mate, that bridge was already blown up. I tell you two on that.
All your permits are obviously through now. Or?
Oh, mate. But it's just stupid stuff, and you're like,
red tape. This country is just full of fucking red tape.
Honestly,
bullshit.
It's just amazing. So I'm like, wow, we survived that. We can survive anything, mate. Seriously.
When we built down where we are in Preston, I wanted a wider crossover. And because I wanted, having close enough to 3-car garage in Preston's rare enough, So, the illness has been there for a while. But I wanted a crossover that I could get 2 cars in and out of.
Yeah.
And
how much headache was that?
And also, I didn't want the big.
I would have just done it.
Yeah, I know. So that was 5-6 months, and in the end, it was
painful.
It was done without all of the things being in order, and had to bluff cancel in the end. No one from Darwin City cancels.
No. It's crazy, but look, like I said, mate, it's fuck yeah. Fuck, I don't even want to say fuck. I say it's been such an arduous task. Fucking doing
well, I mean, you have to bluff cancel because the council bloody bluff themselves. Like, Rita was telling me that they'd spent like months and months and months telling them that they have to protect this tree. Like, this tree has to be protected, and all this works has to be done to protect the tree.
Mate, the thing would have been
and then they went to get the dude to come in to check the work at the end
because the second driveway.
No. You've got to continue the trench under and destroy that tree to put the trench there.
Said,
at the end, it's like,
what? For 4 months, you guys have been wanting to save the trees in Wales. You fucking want to blow the fucking thing up, and you're like,
a bit of ATF.
Oh no, you're going to do it now. What?
Crazy.
What?
It's crazy.
Just unreal, mate. So we sit there and laugh, and you go, oh fuck! This is why this government's got no money. They just
trying to create work for themselves. I think they just justify their jobs. We need more term planners because look at the backlog. It's like seriously, it's
every time a house is knocked down and four units get put in its place, the rates revenue needs to be spent somehow, So
they have to, mate. They have to spend it. They won't get the budget again the next year, mate.
Yeah. Save Preston Market too. Can't get rid of that.
Preston Market. They're not getting rid of that, are they?
Yeah, it's under threat. Yeah.
Oh, is it really?
I mean, it's probably worth too much.
Yeah.
Bit like Sandown Raceway.
I used to date some chicks on the other side of town. We used to go past there, like Preston Market. It was like a big foot scrubber.
Yeah. Before or after Hutchie's kebabs on a big night out.
So you're finding though, like as it's sort of, as you're growing and as it's sort of, I suppose, evolving and you're finding, I guess, more areas that are suitable as your business growing, that you would add this or add that or drop that off. That's as you sort of, as it's moving along.
Yeah, and just other associations as well.
Yeah.
Whether they're members clubs or what have you. You have a chance meeting with someone and you talk about what their client base might be, and it's like, okay, that might work, and it might not be a forever connection, but for the moment, it might
it's a connection for a reason, and it might be that's introduced you to someone else, and it's amazing how the pinball.
Oh, exactly.
When you look back,
exactly.
It is, isn't it?
We do some night events too with some car clubs and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
trade events as well.
A couple of
because you got a big trade event coming up. Was that sort of when we're doing the sim, or the day before? You got a trade event happening there or something?
Yeah, so that's happening in August for the automotive industry.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's trade only and all the rest of it. 20 traders there and some big names coming out.
Awesome.
And we're gonna have some cool cars there.
Hosted at your place?
Hosted out there.
Yeah,
so we've got a big space at the front, which originally was designated for car storage, and now it's an event space.
So you're gonna have that for that sort of they're coming there like a bit of a trade show thing.
Yeah, correct,
Awesome.
correct. But the thing is, like, we sort of look at it and go, say, we'll lease the space out and make a little bit of money on the night. But it brings eyes to the business. And then whether that person that comes to our business has it, or they go, my cousin's got a lot of cars. He's got stores car at my house, one at my grandparents' house. There's cars, and he lives in Ivanhoe. It's 15 minutes away, 10 minutes away. And sort of that. Next thing you know, a friend of mine came to your Cars and Coffee, and it's just bringing people there, and it's part of that culture, and people sort of coming through and wanting to come, and we're getting phone calls as you were getting. Awesome. When's the next car show? And we're getting people from interstate going, and we're coming from interstate. Is it definitely on this Sunday? And it's
full on.
It's just a Cars and Coffee. It's not a car show. It's not motocross.
But it goes to show you that how much the people enjoy the culture of your Cars and Coffee.
How many photographers, up and coming amateur photographers do you get at a Cars and Coffee thing? And for me, that's a sign that there is heaps of life left in this industry.
And that's the thing, man. And again, we sort of get a bit detached because we're in the game. But when you have someone on the outside, and like you said just then, like the amount of photographers that we get here, and they're bringing other people, and they're like photographing the cars and this, and then obviously they post it, so Nico sees it all, and it's like, fuck, there's like fucking 6 or 7 car photographers coming in and taking photos, and then they ring me up and they're like, oh, we'll go, mate, I just handball them straight to him, and he'll sort them out.
The number of people that I've had to tell, when we organise a shoot, we'll tell you. It's like, we'd have a group of 30 bloody people going on our photo shoot.
Fucking following him around photo. But in saying that, we feel very humbled because they're enjoying it and they're wanting it and they're telling others. Like you said, like when we got people the same interstate. When's your next client? When's your next thing? And they're like, wow. And that's the thing. So you're on track and you're doing it. And the fact that they're doing it, and now within that space of time, you've already got people hanging out on a Friday and things like that. That means you're building the right culture. And there's a demand for it. And the people are enjoying it. So they're going back and they're wanting more. Because I guarantee you, mate, there's a lot of other fucking so-called fucking cars and coffees that are going on out there, and fucking, mate, there's fucking more people standing in line at the fucking Australia Post. And I mean, like, it's just fucking no one's there. You know what I mean? And it just, you can see that because they're doing it to try and do something to add value, which is not coming from the right spot.
Because the reality is, you're probably going to have seen the cars before, right? So, and I love cars, but even I run out of events that I enjoy going to just because of, but I go because I'm going to connect with people.
Yeah, correct. 100%.
You know, that's why we sort of, each event is targeted at a different audience, whether it's a chrome bumper or supercars or a certain make or brand or everything like that. So each Cars and Coffee, we do get some of the cars are the same. But otherwise, they're always different cars. And that's what the comments we're getting at the moment is, we come to yours because they're always the different cars.
Brother, it's diversity, and that's the key. Everyone in our industry is all about supercars, mate. Yeah, that's all good on a poster, and that's great. And they can come here, but I want others to come here too. And that's why, I mean, I can only speak. One thing I learned in this industry, you do what you speak. Yeah. You fucking do it. And that's why my joint always reflects what I say. 100%. And it'll never fucking change. I will never fucking sell out and you'll have a bunch of fucking late model shit in here. I'm not about that. Yeah, of course I have a bit, because that hot rod downstairs is just fucking cool as that XJ220 or that XK150 or that Suffolk or that fucking Series 1 or Felipe Massa's fucking 456 up there. You know what I mean? Because everything...
It looks so cool in black.
Yeah, it's now fucking epic, mate. Felipe Massa's car.
Is it really?
One. It's his cousin, Massimo Masters, is a beautiful client and friend of mine. You know Massimo?
Yeah.
The pilot?
That's cool.
So, yeah, he bought it out and he doesn't use it. So he goes, oh, Shawnee, can I store it here? I go, yeah, man, cool. So he goes, I go, put it up there. He goes, really? I go, yeah, man. So I put it up there. Oh, if you sell it, whatever. So, yeah, that was Felipe Massa's car. That's now Massimo Masters' car, and he bought it out from the UK.
How cool is that?
Yeah, man, it's fucking cool. But in saying that, it's just, again, just people are wanting something fresh and new. They are. And you see it. And like I said, when they're asking you, when they're doing it, and that's why, mate, hats off to you guys. I mean, you've been doing it, 6 months now?
That's the incredible thing.
That's what I'm saying, mate. 6 months, and you're doing it right. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. I mean, I can only go back on our little journey and where we were and so on and what we were doing. Granted, we were coming out of COVID, so it was a bit hard. But in saying it, now that, you know, got our stride and we're going and we know where we're at and a few things that didn't work and so on, and that's what you guys are doing. But to have that momentum in that time frame, it's much credit to you blokes because you've built the right culture. It really is.
And we can't, we haven't done it on our own in that, you know, our landlord's a car guy, so that's helpful. You know, to just get leasing a space for a new business, you know, is tough because they're taking a leap of faith.
They are.
And there's probably a group of 8 to 10 guys. I won't name them. It's unfair because we'll miss someone, but. But
that's sort of like what you call an inner sanctum of just good people you bounce off, and that's what I call inner sanctum. It's
and
good.
There's lots of people that provide advice, and most of that advice comes from a
genuine
good place.
A genuineness,
But you know, the three of us, that's the most important thing. The three of us remain tight, and like we have the vision, we know where we're going, and because we've had plenty of people say, look, just throw some boats or caravans in there, get going, and I understand what they're saying because they want us to just...
but that's not your thing.
But it bastardizes the brand. It loses its sting. It becomes Storage King very quickly.
What about a tram, a W-class tram?
We're on the fence.
I got a friend of mine's got W-class tram. So I'm just going to store it with you guys, and I'm like...
Well, it'll take up quite a few car spaces.
It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool machine.
I reckon it'd be
He doesn't
cool,
want to pay anything. He's doing us a favour by giving us the tram. But
convert it into a bar.
I was going to say, put a bar or a little thing, like the old Maccas in Doncaster when we were young.
Yeah.
We used to drive up to this fucking tram.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And like, what? Yeah, it was the novelty of going and parking and then fucking sitting in a tram and eating Maccas. And this is the old Doncaster where it's BMW now. I'm talking fucking young, years and years ago. Yeah, man. But I'll never forget the tram. It was the novelty of sitting in it in the fucking tram. That's fucking old rickety great shit thing. But I think that's cool.
Yeah,
Go to sitting there, like I said, turn into a bar or something would be awesome.
Exactly. No, that's the that might be the idea.
Yeah.
Trying to get it across.
It's something unique. And if you create your space, like, again, I can only speak for our little space, and the way I always wanted to build something is that, again, it's not for everyone, and that's cool. I like that. But the ones that come here, they like it when they go, they are comparing this to somewhere else. Not that it's good or bad, but it's a different experience. Yeah. I'm hoping it's a positive experience. I like to think it is. But when they go to some other place, they're like, yeah, that's different. Obviously, it's different, but the way we do things or the way you are or that more personal and that's what they want. People want that connection. They don't want that too corporate-y, staley, and they want that. They want to see that passion that you're just, it's not just a business there to make money. Fuck, of course, we need to make money.
That's
not
what
fucking
you're here for.
It's not fucking Salvation Army, but we need to make money. But again, it's building that really good ethos that there's no other storage places that have that out there. You know what I mean? There's obviously a couple of others, but I think they're all a bit confused of what they're trying to do and what they want to be and all that stuff.
And there's some good other businesses in our space, but
mate, no different to us, no different fucking mate.
Correct.
You're creating a point of difference. You're not for everyone, and the ones who are get it. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
It's the same. Like people go, why don't you open up to the public? Open up. What the fuck for?
Yeah.
What for? That's not my space. That's where I want to be. You could be this, that. Potentially, that's okay. I'm happy where I'm at. I mean, seriously,
the worst
sticking
thing is doing something half-heartedly because you do it poorly.
No, I can't do that. I've never been that way, and you're not like that either. No. I mean, and that's the thing, and it's just, you know your lane, you're sticking to it, and you have a bit of a look, see, okay, that's interesting, see what else is out there, a bit of a point of difference, and no, mate, I mean, I think it's good. I'm excited we're doing sort of the cars, the Fast Fridays.
Yeah, that's
cool.
It'll
be great, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really, really good. I mean, and just sort of caters for the people out that way as well, and I think it's going to.
And that's absolutely the future. Gaming. Whilst I still believe there will be a place for people to go out and drive a real car on tarmac.
Oh, always.
That will never die. No.
Always.
Gaming is another way of, giving that community something. It might be less frequent that people do their track days and what have you in the future. Who knows? But again, it's such a natural fit, and the fact that
it's good.
You guys kind of got out of the gates and started doing this a while ago, and
again, it's just the stuff that from the years ago that we've always wanted to try different things. I mean, I was pretty blessed that I had the keys. I could pretty much do anything I wanted at Duttons because we always put it on pole, and we always did the right thing. But there were certain things that might have been a bit out of kilter that the board went, I don't know. But sometimes it's good to be a bit risky and try a bit different. You know what I mean? I'll never forget, and I'm going to fucking do it because I remember I had this grouse pitch, and this is Mikey and I. We were doing it, and we were going to hire a tram.
Oh, yes.
Remember that? It was fucking grouse, mate. And we had this big tram. We had it all done up. And I sat down, before I did it, though, before I sat down with the board, I'm not an idiot, so I went and sat down. I rang like 15 clients. Not 5, 10, 15. I said, do 15. And I pitched it to them, and they all went, fuck yeah, I like it. So what it was is, you see a big tram, and I had it hooked up going all around the city. So it was always in peak hour, Collins Street, all that sort of shit. So there's double-deck tram, so long tram. One side was a 288 GDO. The other side was a LaFerrari. Exclusive, ... yes, garage. Expensive, ... yes. Now, there's nothing fucking cheap about a 288 GDO or a LaFerrari. I'm not putting it in their face, but that's the reality.
Yeah.
And, it's a bit exclusive. Well, hang on, fuck yeah. How many fucking people come and buy fucking one? Yeah, it is exclusive, mate.
It's not turning someone off who was otherwise going to buy it, right? So,
it's
like, that's it, I'm done. I mean, I'll stick to the Camry now.
I'm never going to buy a LaFerrari now.
Yeah. But in saying that, when I spoke to our clients, they loved it.
Yeah.
Not because it was it's a point of difference, and it is exclusive. And there's nothing fucking cheap about a 288 GTO or a fucking LaFerrari. You know what I mean? So I'm stating what it is. Okay, you go past Chanel or you go past Prada, there's 20 pricks in the fucking joint, one by buying.
Yeah.
It's not even a fucking in, over in the fucking Duttons. Yeah. So it's like, well, I wanted to do that, but the board like, no, you can't. That looks weird, looks arrogant. It's not, because the people that buy from us love it, that we are exclusive, and it is a bit niche, and they like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, sure, someone can take it as arrogance or whatever, but that's fine, but they're not my people.
And you know what? If you got one of those cars in stock, they're going to... Where are they going to buy from?
Hello. Yeah. So, like, that sort of stuff, I wanted to change a few things up, but we couldn't do it. So, like with here, we can do those things because it is a point of difference. It is, our brand is different. Your brand is different.
That's because you recognise, like, successful real estate agents, they're very good at listing, right? Yep. So they can source stock. That's where the money's made. And much the same in this industry. If you maintain a relationship with collectors, you will get stock that no one else can get. You know, the sales side of things, not to say it's not hard in itself, but...
No, I mean, you need both.
Yeah.
You need the both. You need to have the beautiful connections to you can. I mean, hang on, we're in a fucking shed in Keysborough, and I've got a fucking XJ220 sitting down there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I'm a shed in Keysborough. You know what I mean? So, and I've got a fucking
Keysborough's a lovely area, by the way.
Oh, well, I had to go up market from Dandenong. Lovely business park.
It's like I moved from Reservoir to Preston, so it's basically two back of the north, you know. So, yeah.
But again, it's the crime. Point of difference, not expected, blown away when they see. And that's the thing. Absolutely under-deliver, under promise and massively over-deliver.
Yeah. What's the worst car you've owned?
The worst car
ownership
physically, as in my personal collection, or just shit
not necessarily just it was a shit heap, but like it was the worst ownership experience.
Oh, fuck.
Good question.
I don't know if I had cars long enough to fucking get pissed off with them.
Sound like
probably my Alphas.
Yeah,
But I was out of the industry then. I was at uni and stuff like that. I loved my Alphas at GTV6, Sprint 33, Sud. I loved them, and my cousins had Lancias, beaters, and that sort of stuff. I just loved them. My first car was a fucking Sigma, which I bought, took a fucking loan, fucking $5,000 when I was at uni.
The GSR at least.
It was a Peter Werra.
Was a Peter Werra
Sigma, mate.
Oh, wow.
And I got the B45 Simmons 15s back there. Hollywood, mate.
Yeah.
Chrome B45s, and had the Momo steering wheel, 2.6. Gutless as fuck.
Astron.
Engine, mate, yeah.
I learned to drive in a Scorpion. Same engine.
Mate,
Scorpions, cool.
Yeah, so no, I mean, honestly, I mean, I love my Alphas, but yeah, they used to frustrate me because they just leaking oil, fucking electricals, or just fucking shit wouldn't work, and windows would go down, it's raining, and I'm like, getting wet, I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah, the heater doesn't work, like, car, but I don't know, but I loved them because when they were going, they just made you smile, you know what I mean? But yeah, I always had a love-hate relationship with Alphas. The early ones, sorry.
Yeah.
The early ones, yeah.
What about you? What's the worst car you've owned?
One of the early first cars, probably NT Pulsar. With the N12.
NT
Pulsar.
Yeah.
Never drove it. Got sat there. I had a big fight with Dad because I bought the thing. So then it sat in the front of a friend of mine's front yard, who then his old man got upset. And then I went there one day, where's my Pulsar? Dad got a tow truck and got rid of the fucking thing. So that's probably the worst car. So I never actually, apart from doing a couple of burnouts in the street, and I would have been 14 or 15. Like I was young. I was properly young. Yeah. That's probably the worst car. But I'm trying to think of anything else. Most things have been all right. There's plenty of love-hate relationships. It's just
you can't. But
I got push started, so I had to brought my wife an X5 and was getting it all detailed and all the rest. And I'm like, what car I bring home? I bring the 36 M3 home, and that car's never let me down. And so I drove it. I'm like, it needs petrol. Fill up with petrol. Went to start it and wouldn't start. As in the battery just went
dead.
Gone.
Yeah.
Nothing there.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there. This was only last week, and I was sitting there. What am I going to do? Boundary Road on the freeway
pack.
there.
Oh no!
No jump pack or anything like that. Go inside. You got jumper leads, nah, mate. And I'm like, so I waited for two other guys to come. I'm like, can I get a push? And luckily it was raining because that car
ask you what you do for a living.
Yeah,
we look after cars.
the way home.
Here's a business card. You haven't got the windscreen banner on that car, have we?
No, it does have a windscreen
banner.
But it didn't have a trickle charger on it. But yeah, copped it on the way home. But I had a big smile on my face when I got home.
What about you? What's been the worst car you've owned?
Definitely my Megane. Really? I was driving home from YTG on the freeway, and the driver's side window just went shook and dropped into the door.
It must be a French thing.
Oh, the French cars.
100%.
Yeah.
That car breaks every 2 weeks. But it drives so good it makes up for it. But God, it breaks so often.
Well, I had a Megane as a company car once, and I hated that thing.
Really?
Really? Was it an RS though, or was it just
an RS? One. I just love the steering wheel because you turn the steering wheel and it's
stay centre.
I had a Citroen C4 that had the same thing.
First time I drove one, I was like,
Citroen. It was Citroen.
Yeah, I loved that.
This wheel.
Yeah.
I was at Demillions, and Demillions had Citroen and Renault and all that stuff. And I remember that new, is it C3 or whatever? We had that wheel, it's a little bubble thing. And again, we had a couple of loan cars, and I remember fucking going, something's wrong with the wheels, broken. It's not turning, but the wheels are turning. I never knew.
I bought that car purely because Body Rockers had a song come out at the time.
That was good.
Yeah, and I went to school with one of the guys there, and so it had a cool song in the car. I was like, yeah, it was interesting. And bought him, but it was. That
was their commercial, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a junk car though. Like it was nothing redeeming about it.
That car.
So what was yours?
I bought this VT Club Sport at the start of
it was a 3-pedal
lockdown, manual, 5 litre, but it was.
What were they, 185 or 195 back in the day, the clubbies?
195.
195, yeah.
But I never really enjoyed it. It was, I did a reasonable job of making it presentable in the end, but it was never rattles, and I'm really fussy with my cars, and as much as it might have looked okay, it just never felt like a car I was going to own. My GTV6 was the one, though, I probably had the most love-hate relationship with.
Yeah.
I bought it from Newcastle. I spent 5 years waiting to find one that wasn't rusted, and I wanted red with a sunroof, and I bought silver over charcoal with no sunroof.
Oh, really?
But it was a really good car, but it was a couple of times Camilla and I were out on a cruise with the Alpha Club or something. One time we had the Black Spur, and we hit a bit of a bump, and it's got an inertia switch for the fuel pump. And it cut out, and I, for the life of me, I just forgot that was even a thing in that car. So a shout out to someone in the Alpha Club who made me look like a dickhead that day in front of someone I'd only just started dating. But that was a good car. They were good cars, really good noise.
That was yeah. I had a red 85 with the pullback roof and the mesh Recaros and
black. The black
no, she was the beige.
Oh, was the beige?
Yeah, beige.
Red on beige?
Red, the red on the outside of the beige, and he had just the normal lead, the leather wheel, but I replaced it with the wood. I just like the wood wheel. I didn't have the wood wheel. I just like that wood wheel and put the wood thing in.
You had to drive that car a very particular way. It had a slow gearbox.
Second gear was fucked. Yeah. It was like first, it was like, let it warm up, but when that engine had answer exhaust, it was just come on, man! It was just a beautiful car, and fuck, it used to leak, and the fucking nothing would work, and hit the dash, and the fucking lights would go off and on, but I loved it when it was just going that song in second and third gear, that noise.
Alfred, I will buy that car back one day. I want it back.
They're great, mate. They're a lovely car. Car. That was actually my favourite Alpha. It was, and now when I look at them, and I think I got fucking $5,500 for it back in uni, what it was, and. Well, I saw one on $45,000 he wants for it. The Grand Prix one was my favourite.
Yeah, the Grand Prix with the plastic bars.
The 86 last of them.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was good.
I sold mine for $15,000. I thought, geez, I've stolen the money. Like, you're never going to see that money for a GV60. Like a year later, it's a $40,000.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, what? Yeah. That's like my GXL. I had an XC GXL, 351 the FMX, and we destroyed this car because we had a food van and that. Just when I had to jump out of uni, we had restaurants and had this food van, and it shouldn't have been pulled with this car, and things used to be like that. It was like ripped the ass out of this thing, and it was fucked. And I think I lucky to get $2,500 for it. It was fucked, and I almost begged the bloke to take it. And then I saw the same car, and I don't know if it was the same one. It was white with the greyish vinyl roof, XC GXL 5.8, and I'm like, $50,000 firm, and I'm like, wow. And you sit back, you look at them, you're like, wow, it's just unreal. They're selling.
You were talking about early AMGs before and the Hammers. Yeah. Is there much of that stuff in Australia? Not really, huh?
Not really. I mean, again,
Japan, there was a bit, wasn't there?
Mate, there was a lot in Japan. Like my E500, which I had in New Zealand, that was from Japan, and I wanted to bring out here, and that's an awesome car. There's some really good stuff that came from Japan, and the 124 500 was a rare car, never came here because all left-hand drive. And then we bought a couple of Hammers, 6-litre wide bodies.
Oh, yeah.
Such a cool car. Oh, mate, I think it was 18 or 19 that we bought one, and it was 2 we got out of Japan, and they were big money, mate. We were going to bring them here, but just made bigger money overseas.
Yeah.
Not really. There's a lot of mock-ups, if you will. They put the old AMG wheels, and that's all cool.
Yeah.
My 380 SEC, which I sold the other day, which is actually too good a car.
Sorry,
I was going to... No, mate, we've been going. We're going to keep it a wide body. No,
Two young kids, mate. Two young kids.
Yeah, I know. No, there's not, unfortunately. They're not. I mean, I've seen a couple of SL60s, which are quite rare. Funny enough, on that collecting cars.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah. And Yeah, and that's about the only thing I've seen of late. But no, a lot in New Zealand because the market's deregulated, and you can get some stuff there. We've had some nice Cossies and stuff like that over there, 190 Cossies, that stuff. But sadly, you don't see a lot of it here, brother. No. Even though AMG is such a big market in Australia, but it's the late model stuff, not so much the old stuff, which is sad.
I got a C55 at the start of the year, and I love them. I'm loving that car.
I love it.
It's been good fun.
See, for me, that ilk of 55, that's really what I play with. I love that. I've owned SL, SLK, CLK, fucking E, CL. I love it. That was the best engine. That 113, best engine AMG ever made. That 55, I was driving a new one back in Demillions in Sydney in 05, and it was like, fucking grouse car. That's a CLK front, the black series, the front nose. That's because it's longer for the V8. Things people don't know that. You know, it's a fucking special car. The quad pipe's a great fucking thing.
I always wanted to buy a wagon now because the C63 has been such a hit. You know, I imagine at the time it was a bit unusual to see a.
Well, they only ran it for like
a very understated car.
Brother, they only ran it for 2 years. And that's the thing. It was such a rare car. I remember driving them new and I'm going, this is fucking grouse. But it was fucking 180 grand, 170 grand or whatever it was back then new. And so not many people sold them. And they were M3 competition in a sense, but you bought an M3.
It's a very different car though. It's very much so. Conventional.
I didn't know you had one. They're a great car, man. Awesome car. I always wanted to buy a wagon because you don't see them that much. In New Zealand, there's a couple of wagons. Yeah, fucking cool. Yeah, I like the wagons and they're different. Yeah, it's a cool car. Yeah, good car. Good engine. Can't kill them.
No,
great engine.
I've tried, but no.
No, you want to just bulletproof.
Where is it at the moment?
Is that your,
I saw that was
under the bus. It's just getting a service, but the last.
Set your list.
I know. Yeah, it was making.
Go easy on him.
It was making some noises it wasn't supposed to be making after the last weekend away.
They just need some love.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Because they're fucking bulletproof, man.
No, more suspension and gearbox mounts and.
Well, that's
just usual wear and tear.
Usual wear. There's so much torque in the fucking things and a little car like that, so you're going to do them. Yeah. That's usually what you do, and that's what I usually do with the transmission and engine mounts. And there's just so much torque in the fucking things, mate. Yeah, it's awesome. So that's your daily? No, your little.
Oh, the R-Bath.
R-Bath,
Yeah, I've had that for 10, 11 years now.
We were trying to trade one of those Tributos back in the day, the 695, the Ferrari one, a yellow one.
Apparently they are really nice to drive.
We had a couple when I was at Ferrari.
No?
I've driven one that's been tuned, the bigger turbo and everything like that, and it coughed and spluttered and made all these noises. And I loved it because it was a little go-kart, but to say it was a really cool car.
Cool.
We had one of those ones that done with the gearbox, like the manual, like they were all souped up, but they were fucking expensive, $100-something thousand.
The Biposto.
The Biposto.
The Biposto,
red gearbox.
Yeah, and it's all racing.
Exposed linkages, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I couldn't believe how expensive they were. We had one, this is before I left.
A lot of people make the mistake is they'll look at the R-Bath and then they'll look at the Mini and they'll try and compare. They're not the same car. Mini's a much more comfortable car, better tech. So it's its own thing. You know, like there's a lot you got to forgive an R-Bath. It's not that comfortable. It didn't even have cruise control. I had to put that in aftermarket. So
but that's the idiosyncrasies of Italian cars.
Yeah. But it's red with white wheels, so that kind of just got me.
Awesome.
Awesome. It looks good.
A four-seater car with 3 kids, though. I don't know how I've managed to.
Yeah, that's a good effort. Bloody good effort.
Yeah.
All right, well, we've hit an hour.
Have we?
Yeah, we've smashed through that.
That's gone sweet.
Thanks for inviting us on.
Thank you for coming, mate. Thank you. You got off a plane 2 hours ago.
Sat in the car park for 40 minutes.
I'm up there doing the first one. I'm sorry.
No, that's right. As I said, we won't name them, but obviously we're very early in our journey. But thanks to Sean and the team for support, and thanks to the special group of people who have got right behind us over the last 6 months. Our families, obviously, but there's a group of mates that we've got, clients, mates, what have you, and gives us the confidence to keep trucking on. It's pretty hard to start a business, as you know, and particularly in today's climate. So, we're really grateful for that support.
Power to you, mate. Well done. And the journey. And we're looking forward to sort of doing some stuff with you guys when we can. And as I said, I mean, you're going to cover a big market on that side of town. That needs to be done. So, power to you. And
properly.
Yeah, man. Look forward to getting you guys on in the future and any other stuff you've got, let us know and we can discuss it and things like that. So, looking forward to it, man. So, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
And, please check them out. Benzina Stables. If you're on that side of town or even on this side of town, mate, talk to the boys. they'll look after you, no stress at all. Done. Thank
you very much.
Thanks,
boys.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
See you next week.
See you next week. Good night.